Good evening, Final Fantasy Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to tonight's Twin Cast. Tonight we have Elven Sorrow versus Y2 Sky on the top, and on the bottom we have Irene versus Scar. I am joined in the booth by Sheep Launcher. How are you doing today, Sheep Launcher?
I am terrific, Sopnum, and I bet you're feeling terrific as well, since you won your race a couple days ago by 7 seconds over VT Afro to give Golbez, and Golbez a 1-0 advantage in this series. And so Y2 Sky and Skarn on the right side each belong to Golbez, and Golbez. If either one of them wins, that team wins for the week. But Elven Sorrow and Irene on the left side are not going to go down easily. Brewdude Attitude is their team. If they both win, then Brewdude Attitude wins this week.
Yep. And so, as you said, I'm hoping my teammates make it through here, but just looking for some good matches today, realistically. And we have our Kane hero, which honestly, I don't really mind that much for all the heroes that we can start with. And it looks like we're getting started here, so gonna see quickly who we're joined by.
Yeah, Kane is a really good hero, scales pretty well, will always be useful. That is an edge. The dolls give us a Baron key, an absolutely hard required Baron key. We are glad to have you with us, but we are getting off to a quick start.
Yep.
So,
hard required because there are two objectives out of our variable objectives that reference the Baron key. One is to complete the quest and defeat the false king on the Baron throne, and then the other is to defeat the true king in the Baron basement here. So that Baron key, we'll see if it causes any divergence in our runners here.
So Kane and Edge, two of the quickest characters you could start up on. It might tempt one or two of our runners to just go right back in. The only thing is both the Neki flag is on, so neither is starting with a top tier weapon or with two short swords in Edge's case. But look at that. That is a Fabul Gauntlet in Baron Inn. Baron is where all the action is today.
Yeah. And Elven Sara giving us that quick peek, and Skarn flying in here too. Edward kind of sitting there, probably not that exciting for our runners yet. Edward does have a decent amount of utility, and we did pick up a longsword somewhere around Baron here, so
very useful already.
Yeah.
Irene going right up Mount Hobbs. There's a Tella up there staring down a Leviathan.
Yeah, Tella, a good pickup for this team. Lots of utility magic within Tella there. And Edge really should not have that much trouble here with the Nope Rope.
So both Elven Sorrow and Skarn heading over to Eblan Castle. The treasure here weighted a little higher. And I think, a good piece of armor, maybe a decent Kane weapon in one of the untrapped chests, and they should feel like they're about ready to storm the overworld.
Yeah, with that Edge start, if we can get Kane online even just a little bit, there's just not that much to fear on the blue planet here, and several objectives are now within our grasp, with the Fabul Gauntlet sitting in the inn, and then the Baron key unlocking 2 more.
And I didn't see where he got it, but Y2 Sky got a Mute Knife for that Edge. Will be huge for any mage-type enemies he encounters. Finds, I believe, the Baron guards in the waterfall. No thanks.
Yep. The Baron guards can just stay in the waterfall. We don't really need them. Checking for Demist or Golbez there, of course. And I'm pretty sure that Mute Knife was in the back of Watery Pass as Y2 Sky made it through. And yes, one of our two trackers tonight, Step Lively, pointing out in the back of Watery Pass. Our trackers tonight are Step Lively and Gurin. doing the button pushing for us, and Dathis is the blesser of the seed in our restreamer. Love those guys. Love those folks. Cannot thank them enough for what they do behind the scenes to make us look good.
Yeah, we do want to get that mention in quickly because I have a feeling the action is going to come fast and furious. You really couldn't ask for much of a quicker start. A key item to start that gives you access to 2 objectives, 2 characters that don't need a whole lot to get going quickly. Just an invitation to put the pedal right down to the floor.
Yeah, and it looks like both Skarn and Elven Sorrow not having that much trouble with the Snailman chest in Eblan Castle there, pretty readily dispatching that. Skarn going to take a save here before going further into the castle, I believe. Yep. And we have Asura, who is at the bottom of the Antlion Cave here, and we'll see what Asura holds on Irene's screen.
Yeah, Irene would really like that mute knife. Don't know if he picked it up, but that mute knife would make quick work of Asura. Even with what he has, I'm sure it won't take terribly long.
Yeah. Asura just not that much of a danger here. Looks like we are locking in place here with Asura. You can always make sure that you're getting the right thing by attacking at a certain time, and then Asura will always cast Life, which is a useless spell for pretty much everybody.
So Eblan Castle did yield a Bahamut summon and then a Stardust Rod. Neither of those useful quite yet. Maybe you could slap the Stardust Rod on Tella until you get something better. But Eblan Castle having the goods in other places. I believe there was an Elven Bow somewhere along there that would make that Eddie behind the gauntlet in Baron Inn more useful.
Yep. A little more accessible, the Elven Bow, especially if we come across some good arrows here. You know, Artemis would be a chest, but you can find wider darkness arrows. Both do pretty well on the blue planet at least. And a cursed ring out of Eblan as well on the right hand path. A really great pickup, especially for the Kane hero here, being able to control that speed, not only for Z, but also some of the fights in the later game. It's going to be really useful.
Aaron did pick up the tower key from Asura down in Antlion Cave. Y2 Sky will be right behind in adding to his keychain. And Sopnum, I can't help but notice this seed just a little bit different than the first match in this series between you and VT Afro.
Yeah, unlocking a little bit faster, clearly here. Also, a lot of divergence among our runners, I'm noticing. You know, lots of different plans on how to go about this seed. And we get the tower key out of the bottom of Antlion that I hadn't seen on Arine's screen, but Y2 Sky picks up.
And welcome to our friends from Free Enterprise who are joining us for this twin cast. We have Elven Sorrow versus Y2 Sky and Arene versus Skarn. The left side of your screen is Brew Dude Attitude, and the right side of your screen, Golbez, and Golbez. The right side of the screen up 1-0 in the series. So if both of the runners on the left win, Brew Dude Attitude wins. If one of the runners on the right wins, it's Golbez, and Golbez's winning argument. And as you can see from the middle, there are 2 required Baron objectives. The starting item from the dolls was a Baron key, and we have a Kane hero along with an edge start, so our runners have been blazing so far.
Yep, and the other guards, unfortunately, are found at Full Defense there. I say unfortunately for our runners, at least, that usually you want to see them, since it is a more or less free fight, somewhere that's not quite so easy. But easily dispatched over on Arine's screen. gonna go and loot out Sheila's tower as well. Finds a poison axe, which is not the worst weapon in the world.
Yeah, and the King's Room did have a Gungnir spear, a decent spear for Kane as well. Y2 Sky heading up Mount Ordeals and finding a vanilla Mylon and friends. The key item from the Fabul defense was just a protect ring, a really nice piece of equipment.
Yeah, a great piece of equipment. Lots of people could wear it. Probably not exactly what you were hoping to find on the Fabul defense, but we have a lot of locations open to us now with, Baron wide open. So, and it does look like Arene's going to go ahead and give Baron a shot here.
Yeah, just for the folks joining us late, the Baron Inn contains an Edward as the character, but the Fabul Gauntlet is the first fight there. We've seen 2 blue robes occupying those chairs, so Senator Crocodile will be filibustering today.
Yep, and as Y2 Sky makes it through the vanilla Mylon and friends, Arene finds a ninja sword and a curse ring for sale in the Baron Lock shop. So, really, really nice equipment. Ninja hat, ninja sword. There was a curse ring for sale. We know there's one in Eblan as well, but having access to that is great.
Yeah, really terrific. This Ed will be really happy with those, and Arene slapping that protect ring right on him.
Yep, and we've got Val as the second fight here, standing in for Mylon Z. I guess his body changed a lot more than we were expecting. But we do have Kane, so we can get through this.
Yeah, without Kane, it'd be a little bit of a problem here, but with Kane, should be doable. Did you see what Elvin Sorrow got from that Mad Ogre chest in Eblan? He was there for a while, but he got an Avenger, which makes it all worth it.
Yeah, the Avenger, really nice pickup there.
And both Elvin Sorrow and Skarn checking out Mist Cave, finding a Karate Man. No thanks. Some fights there you take just to loot out Mist Cave, because Mist Cave does have a little bit higher tier loot, but neither Elvin Sorrow nor Skarn all that interested.
Yeah, getting through all the hit points of Karate, there's probably not worth whatever you're going to find behind it. But did you, Mr. Watcher, happen to see what Elvin Sorrow named the seed that he is running today?
I did not.
It was named No Lawyers.
The first thing we do, according to Shakespeare, is get rid of the lawyers, and he's going to, Y2 Sky is going to be sent to the moon. I'm sure that's not the way he wanted to get rid of the lawyers, because that is a darkness crystal on Mount Ordeals. Holy cow.
Yeah. It is worth noting, though, and I'm pretty sure this is true, and I'm sure you're correct if it's not, but what we won't find on the moon here is our way underground.
No, not the only way underground.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, both because of routing and also because of the Val there. Val cannot gate the progress underground in this flag set. You can't set a flag so that it's really neat,
yeah, and Y2 Sky taking down Ogopogo quite simply. Ogopogo in the changing room on a hero flag set could be a problem, but not a problem with this Kane.
Yeah, not really posing much of a threat at all. And as pointed out, now that we have the Darkness Crystal, a D-Machine grind is suddenly possible. We have a Tella, we have a Darkness Crystal, so we'll see if any of our runners decide that that is the way to go. I would expect them to fill their parties out, I believe, before we really consider it, but it's certainly something to keep in the back of your mind.
Yeah, of the characters we've seen so far, nobody would really benefit from a D-Machine grind more than a standard Siren grind of some kind. Usually you want either a base level Paladin Cecil or a nice Black Mage to kind of slingshot them up. This party, nobody really needs that kind of slingshot, but there are lots of character checks still to go.
Yeah, we're nowhere near what we're going to end up with in our final party. And in fact, the Darkness Crystal is gaining one of those character checks. And we can, for the low price of a couple cutscenes, run up there and check that altar.
Yeah, I would expect.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I would expect your teammate to do that sooner rather than later. Although
yeah, I would think
Baron.
So. Although we are doing some Baron shopping here. It does occur to me that with the Darkness Crystal pickup and the fact that we know the Fubu Gauntlets and Baron, that we already have more than half of our required objectives. We know where they are.
Yeah.
And we have access to them. So seed opening up very, very, very quickly for our runners today.
And Baron in the second spot, a very free fight. Bahamut in a very slow spot. Enough time to try and take Bahamut down before he gets to a nuke. And even if you realize you're not going to win that particular damage race, Bahamut is so slow, even once he gets to 1, you could probably throw up a Star Veil and get that reflect. Ooh. It doesn't matter if a couple of characters go down, but that is an Earth Crystal for Erin. Another key item, another check. Edward joins the party. Don't have a spoon for him yet.
Yeah, the Earth Crystal, I would say is a pretty tempting check here. There is sort of a routing theory where if you do Earth into Baron, it works out pretty nicely because the Tower of Zot lands you right outside of Baron Castle. But we'll have to see what Erin decides to do with the Earth Crystal that he's been blessed with.
And more than that, the Earth Crystal does contain two character checks, I should say. Also 2 more boss checks and a key item check. It's a very, more than routing efficiency, it's just a very convenient, concise key item with all those checks. Erin, though, in the neighborhood, wants to see what is going on. In Baron is going to go play with some dolls first.
I was going to say, we know that the dolls are they're smelly today. They're in the wagon spot. That is my favorite line in Free Enterprise. Smells like monster, or not Free Enterprise, but in Final Fantasy IV. It smells like monster. And then they get stoned.
Palom, rude to the end. But Forum understands that time, and that's part of her character growth.
Yes, it is quite a nice collection of scenes here that we don't get to see any of because we're on Free Enterprise, and that would be slow. But it is nice to see them as our runners are kind of catching up with each other. Both Elven Sorrow and Skarn kind of following the same path, but up on our deals now, taking care of the Val with Y2 Sky, finding that Bahamut there, probably going to use much the same strategy to power through.
It is always
flame some dolls.
Yep, the flame should show them how. Did not quite get the ones in the back, so we'll have to act quickly in order to avoid the big doll. But I was going to say it is kind of fun to see 2 runners from 2 different teams in 2 different races kind of following each other's footsteps. It really goes to show that it's not a team-based strategy sometimes.
Yeah, I know that at least in our team, I don't know what your experience is we've talked some general strategy, but we mostly just share seeds and encourage each other. So we haven't talked a lot about what happens if you find Val at Mylon Z.
Erin, going to the throne, finds a Sparkleocracy, and it is Plague.
Yeah.
Not difficult, especially with that base level Eddie. Should be able to do some kill revive strats in order to reset the count. Should not be too difficult, and that will be another objective.
Eddie doesn't even manage to do more than 3 hit points to himself there, but
Yeah.
Tella gets Eddie down there. I think we'll be able to get our life potion off in time. Oh, not quite. So we'll give that another try.
Tough reset there, but and has to go through the dolls again.
Yeah. Tough reset. Hopefully can make up the time there though. Plague is still hard.
Yeah.
That
spot a little
really
quicker than you would think.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if you don't have a berserker going. The 1 to 0s and 0 to dead is very quick. None of the slots are full.
And Y2 Sky going to tangle with his Calbrena. He's already defeated the Football Gauntlet, so he is even on objectives with Erin and 1 up on Elven Sorrow.
And now we will see what kind of strategy that Y2 Sky decides to use here. That Eddie going down is probably going to help him out there with the next fight, though. So
it might have. He doesn't even know it.
Yeah, he doesn't even know it yet, and I kind of wonder if Erin was gonna try something similar, just getting Eddie down before it. Then that life potion's practically free.
Y2 Sky is raiding the little treasury by the side of the room. Baron has a mini treasury that sometimes gets called like a mini Troya treasury because the similar weighting gated behind a key item. But the max tier 5 means it's probably not worth the walk, even at this early stage.
Yeah, I always find it extremely tempting simply because it taunts you, right? It taunts you all game. You get your item, you get your next character. Those 3 chests are sitting right there. They're like, open me, I could be a curse ring or something good.
Erin gets the crumble on Plague on his second time of asking. Well done there. And both Elven Sorrow and Skarn summoning the whale, which neither Y2 Sky nor Erin have done. So they will potentially be the first to espy the moon character and check out that moon shop, which will be sure to have a tier 5 item in it.
Yep. And it looks like for our efforts here, we get a punch mage. So
would a punch mage be worth it to D Machine?
Oh, I don't know. I certainly wouldn't be like throwing off my robe and getting on the whale. But I don't know. I think it's an interesting play. Okay,
it
look.
Would be.
We got the Z's statue today.
Yeah, the Z's have helped us in our quest to escape the crushing doors.
Yep, and we found a hook out of Baron Castle. So not only did we light the second objective we see on screen, but we also now have access to the underground. It is not the access that we prefer sometimes, but it is definitely there.
Now, Elven Sorrow did not go to the moon, instead going back to Baron Inn. Garn completed the journey to the moon, did find a Sid up there. Not who he was hoping for, you would think. And Y2 Sky going to Baron Basement, at least to see who it is. It might be a free fight down here. I like this check a lot.
Yeah.
Octomam not free.
Not free here.
No,
so,
those are big numbers.
Yeah, so looks like we're gonna give it a bit of a try, but I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up wiping to this. It seems to be the characters, except for you know, the edge we started with, and maybe the Cane is sort of just the march of mediocrity. You know, Yang and Sid have their fans and their uses, but just never really what you're hoping for when you're making a play like that.
Yeah, I think that's true.
We're gonna go check and see who's in Cave Valley.
Yeah, good. You know, nice little walk to get down here. Maybe you pick up a couple chests on the way, but Skarn is not bothering. Going to see who is there.
Ooh.
Orbs. Yuck.
Gross. we won't be coming back. You do have what Skarn could have done there, which I like to do if you're gonna make this play, is if you have hourglasses and sirens, and I believe our runners started with them today, you can take Kingria, which is a great catapult, does not take that much time, and we've got some pretty good damage coming out of our characters now. We'd probably get through it pretty easily.
There is something.
Oh.
Yeah, there is something to be said for grind early, grind often, and if you start with one siren and one hourglass, that would be a great place to use it. Wanted to jump in and say Irene is diving the hook route, did find sirens and hourglasses for sale in that Eblan shop, so that will be very useful indeed, and gets a Palom on the hook route.
Yeah, and Palom will replace Eddie here, without having found the spoon yet. Probably a play most runners, I believe, would have made. Probably not, again, who exactly we were looking for. You know, I love Palom, I love our Quack Kid, but, you know, this party's kind of screaming for a white mage right now.
You don't think Moon Sid is going to cut it, huh?
No, I don't think Moon Sid and a pile of Kier 2s is really gonna cut the mustard today for our runners.
And Sofnum, a question in chat, wondering if you know the answer to, because I don't know it offhand, but our viewers might be familiar with the life glitch, where if you throw a life potion on a dead enemy, they rise, then immediately die again, so you get double the experience. If you life to an enemy, they actually come back with full health. Do they come back with all of their status effects still in play, or do they kind of reset?
So, in Xenocat, answering the question here, they come back unstopped. I believe that stop and death fill kind of the same slot, and so you can't be both. I believe is why that happens, because one of the interesting things that does happen is that if you stone an enemy, so for instance, like you have Medusa arrows and Senator Crocodile gets stoned, and you try and life glitch, they don't come back because they're stoned. They're not dead.
But you're saying other status effects they would keep. If you turn them into a toad, they'd come back as a toad. But stop is not one of those status effects.
Yeah, it's the same thing as, like, you can't berserk somebody who is poisoned or the other way around. It blocks the stop slot and the death slot of this. So when you clear that flag, you clear all of it. But they would come back, minied or whatever you had done to them.
Well, while we were discussing that, Arian did slice through the Mad Ogres, did get a pile of experience, also a lightsaber, which will be useful if Cecil shows up anytime soon. Y2 Sky making an interesting play here, the Hairdryer's chest. And I don't know what kind of subpoena he's looking to find in here, but Y2 Sky really going for a good item and a pile of experience.
Yeah. Kind of an interesting play. I think ever since we had K-Trap on in the first half of this tournament, runners have been a little more comfortable taking some of the trap chests here, and taking Flame Dog and Zot and things like that, you'll see people do a lot more often than maybe they were doing before. But Irene going to give us the first look at who's here, and we have elements in the
All
first
of them.
spot.
And Skarn actually giving us our first look at the Troya Treasury, even though all 4 of our runners have the Earth Crystal. In a little bit of a shock. I just think, everybody is just go on to the next check. A strength ring is real nice.
Yeah.
Longsword.
Yeah. Longsword's not too bad. We'll take it. I don't think that Skarn has been in the Baron weapon shop yet and seen the Ninja Blades for sale.
Somehow ended up with a diet food and a mallet. Maybe from that all gauntlet, we'll get rid of those.
Yeah, I guess.
Silent staff.
Yeah, strength ring pretty good. I mean, this is you're seeing on screen now, and on Scar's screen here, the reason that a lot of our runners have forsaken the treasury here is that with the cap on items at 5, you're just limited in the number of really cool things you can see. Strength ring is great. Sometimes you get cursed out of it.
Some nice J items.
Some nice J items, but
Yeah, pretty good for the tier 5 cap. And
yeah.
Irene did take down the elements, a mostly magic based spot, and the magic power at the King Queen Eblan spot very low. Now taking on Mom Bomb here in the second spot. Could be some rough going here.
Yeah, Mom Bomb is for the levels that we have pretty punchy here, but if we can get into a nice cycle here, we'll make it through this.
That Palom making himself useful with those virus casts.
Yep, and Kane with the Gungear Spear is already doing 1,000 damage. And I'm pretty sure at that spell loadout, Palom's actually 1 or 2 levels away from Quake here, which is also useful. So
the hairdryers did give an Artemis bow for Y2 Sky that makes that Eddie very powerful indeed. Elven Sorrow going to try and give this Octomam a shot, and has already cut a couple of tentacles down to size. Slowing the octopus down, the more you can slow him down, the more you can kind of resurrect your people. And there's only one blink caster in this party, but if you resurrect Tella, that might be enough to buy some more turns. So Elven Sorrow's giving this a try.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that Irene is making a game of it at least. Hasn't quite wiped here. It has come close, but is definitely putting in good effort to get through this fight here.
Yeah, showing a lot of gumption. Really love to see it. Skarn taking on the Evil Wall as the first spot here in the Tower of Zot. And Elven Sorrow is through.
Oh, wow.
And gets a Sand Ruby. Ooh, well, Fu is still outstanding. Cecil is still outstanding. A Vanilla Rosa would be helpful.
Vanilla Rosa or Poron would be great here. Fu would be excellent. Cecil would be good. Is Elven Sorrow the one who found the lightsaber? I don't actually remember.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, so that's
no, I'm sorry. That was Irene who found the lightsaber from the Mad Ogre chest. But Rydia in the bed would also be helpful because Elven Sorrow does have a Bahamut summon. And Irene not quite able to take on that Mom Bomb and has to go through the elements again. So Irene has been very aggressive in the seed, which you love to see, but has taken a couple of wipes now. And that is a Palom in the bed. That is a duplicate Palom.
That is kind of too bad.
And Skarn finds his Paladin.
Oh, very nice.
Elvinsar taking Palom over Yang. Says goodbye to the Punch Mage.
Paladin and a mop.
Yes! Double locked characters up in the Tower of Zot. Golbez and Golbez join the firm.
Yes.
And they instantly become partners with the profit-sharing arrangement. They are not going to have to go through the associate grind.
Almost assuredly not. Put some good paralegals behind him, and we've got an endgame party here.
Yeah, I think Skarn is very, very happy with this play. And Y2 Sky is right behind. And with these characters, now Golbez, and Golbez look to be kind of in control here.
Yeah. I mean, I would think that it would weigh on my mind. It weighs on my mind right now that Elvinsar is all the way through the right.
No, he's not. But
I thought he made it.
Nope, not yet. He hasn't even attempted the hook route yet.
Ouch. Guess I missed it.
Yeah, Irene is on the second boss. Irene was the first to try the hook route. Elvinsaro is now going to make that climb up the Tower of Zod and is going to like what he sees. And the second boss here is Water Hag. So not only is the Tower of Zod clearly the play, it's also not terribly difficult.
Right. Almost free. You get a free mop, you get a free paladin.
Yeah.
I mean, what more there is to say here.
Evil Wall in the first spot is never fun, but it's very doable.
Yeah. Most of the things you can find in the sister spot are pretty doable. But yeah, my teammates here, Golbez, both getting through Zot. Ooh, and we're putting the Artemis on Cecil, which is actually a wonderful idea. Typically, one of the best weapons in the game, not just best bows, but just weapons in general.
Yeah, most of our runners haven't found a light sword or any kind of holy sword yet. So if you have an arty bow, I think there have been some Sammy arrows floating around. That is a very powerful paladin right out of the box.
Yep. And should, make, especially this Foo. I did notice on Skarn's screen as we were kind of rearranging, I think it was Skarn, that Foo has nuke, so you've already got, one of the major key spells there. I do wonder, though, do you go back and do karate now? Just to get Foo some more spells?
Ooh, certainly very doable, or very tempting. Also, the Baron guards in the waterfall, and Irene pulls it out. Wow!
Oh, wow!
Edge down to 27 health, but gets an Hourglass 3 off on the bombs, and suddenly has new life. Should be the Hourglass 3 lasts pretty much forever. Should be able to get through this. What a fight!
Yeah, and it looks like we're just gonna pour J items on the bombs until they go out, which is just not a bad strategy here.
No, you can't take them with you.
No, you can't. You can't use them on Z either very effectively. Some of them.
I've always wondered how a Quake on Z is supposed to work. Like, what is the thinking behind that?
Yeah.
How does Space Quake?
How do you quake when you're in the ethereal nothing, right? I'm just not sure. But yes, Irene is through this fight in only a couple attempts, which is pretty good for this lineup in this party. So
Yeah.
Pitfall at 38-15 is really, really good. So we will see if Irene keeps going depth and explores the underground or comes back up to circle back, but definitely unlocked a lot more of the seed for himself.
Yeah, and has that tower key, has the option to go right back up that tower. There is a sparkle at the top. We know it could be Wyvern, it could be D-Lunars, it could be Pale Dim. All of them for this party are going to range from annoying to potentially deadly.
Yeah.
I mean, D-Lunar's up there, never fun. Pale Dim is just going to you to just absolute numbness. And Wyvern, we don't know what spell Wyvern will lead off with. It's not a Mega Nuke. It's usually better than a Mega Nuke, usually.
Yeah.
But I love this. I love this play to go right back up the tower, just kick the Falcon to the curb, take some trap chests on the way up, try to get one of those top tier weapons. There always seems to be a crystal sword in the Tower of Babel. Always.
Well, sometimes it's always there.
It always seems.
It always seems like there's a crystal sword hiding here, in either the trap chest here or an ending. But yeah, I like this play too. When you're gonna kind of push through and dive sort of deep into your objectives instead of doing sort of a breadth first kind of approach, it's usually best to keep sticking to that and going where the items are leading you. The best Wyvern is Retreat Wyvern. That would be great. Retreat Wyvern is the best.
Spoken like
Charm
a
is kind of
coward.
second best, in my opinion.
Well, I missed the key item from the Tower of Zot was a white shirt. So the characters are the true reward for the quest.
Yeah. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the cannon room first. Cannon room never really poses much of a threat. If you can get to the tower, you can get through it. But see who's hiding here.
Yeah, Wyvern here could be fun, but yeah, Dark Elf here annoying, but not a threat.
Takes a little bit longer because it's just on changing.
Yeah, and also insists on having extra HP to do the changing with.
Yep, but not too bad. Me change.
And Elven Sorrow defending Fabul, which is noble of him. And Skarn going to check out Baron Basement. See if he can defeat Octomam.
Yeah, I do kind of like Foo's chances, pretty well here. I didn't notice if we know that 3, but if we do,
yeah,
probably not too hard. Nuke would be fine too, but
sure. Put him in the microwave if you can, but yeah.
Yeah. You got some leftover calamari? Just nuke it.
And Irene going to continue straight up the tower, and make a save here. Good idea to go with the safety save. We don't want a third long walk. And if this happens to be a gatekeeping Wyvern with an just impossible, really quick mega spell, then you go to the save point and then you just walk right back down the tower. You do the Penguinator special.
You just leave.
Yeah.
As we're told, If it's
If
bad,
it's terrible, hit the bricks.
hit the bricks. You can just leave. You don't have to do it right now.
Real winners quit. Powder is not bad.
Yeah, just a little bit of sand thrown in our eyes here. Probably just not that hard. But
Yokozuna, what are you doing to us? Oh, and Scar knows nuke. This octopus is gonna have a real bad time.
yeah, the octopus is already on 3 legs. I've noticed.
Yeah.
Oh, and we nuked so much that our nuke microwave ran out of power. So, but it looks like we're just gonna berserker mash through the rest of this here. Yeah.
So, Arene is taking on this wyvern. Now the nukes are starting to come out. This spot has a ton of HP, and what that powder does, as pointed out by John Burkhead in chat, it prevents berserk from sticking, really. And Arene doesn't have that Avenger, I don't think. So he's gonna hit the bricks.
Yeah. Kind of a rough go of it there, and yeah, we're just leaving.
Yep.
We're out. No more. We do get a key item out of this, so.
Yep, one key item. Did get an item out of the alert chest, the one alert chest that he checked. I did not see what he got. But Skarn did defeat that Octoman, and while our runners are walking around, we're going to focus on Arene here and see what the engineers have to give to him after this harrowing fall.
Oh, but he's caught by the Enterprise. It's okay.
And never has to deal with the Falcon again.
And we got a ninja sword.
Well, the Keyful half tower not quite paying off.
Yeah, not what you're hoping for here. Looks like Arene is having a bit of a restroom break. I very often do this too.
Sure, this is a good time for it.
This one, the moon cutscene, is always a good one.
Yep. Skarn is taking that Palom, waking up the little boy from his nap, which is always a really fraught decision. Sometimes you just want to let him sleep, because he'll wake up and be a terror, and I think Skarn is counting on that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of precisely what we're hoping for here. But you know, I mean, this is a good party, I think.
And a nice.
We would love to have a white mage, but
a nice boomerang from a free chest in the Fey March. That's a twin harp for Arene. And all of a sudden, this gets super interesting again.
Yeah, and so Arene doesn't have the darkness crystal yet.
No.
But we are now in sort of like face check and go mode, sort of.
Yeah, and
because we have the tools. If we drop Forge, then we've got the tools to do everything.
That is a free fight and a bonus round in the Fey March. King Queen Eblan, you can take that on right now, bud. Not gonna do it.
We're not gonna do it.
Gonna wait until he can take on D-Mist as well. Gonna get some levels with those sirens.
Yeah. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You want to make one more. You know you're gonna have to make one more trip into the Fey March anyway. So if you can do your grind, or at least do a grind, to at least plausibly take that D-Mist, that might be something worth doing. And Elven Sorrow, gonna check out yeah.
I guess we're trying to find Boss Man here, Golbez.
Yeah, we'll see if Elvin Sorrow is in face check mode here.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to take this with our Fu and our Cecil. This is kind of rough though.
Yeah,
I don't think we wanted to see some.
but yeah, we are up here, one boss or 2 key items away from no mode.
Yep. Really getting pretty close, and Odin is hiding in the crystal room today here.
Yeah, we're gonna see a dancing king, young and sweet. He is the dancing king. Gonna be really rough at this spot though.
Yeah, this is it's especially since we haven't found that Fu, and I don't think that we've quite reached the level on Palom where we do have Quake, which is good, but we don't have a Lit 3 yet, which would make this fight much better.
Elvin Sorrow did take a wipe to those D-Lunars, so has to go through the character cutscene again. I know it breaks his heart to not have Sid, and wow, Irene made quick work of that Odin.
Yeah, we had a Thunderclaw. We did a Lit 2.
Yeah.
It went quicker than I thought it would. We didn't even get one Sensaku, so that's good.
Y2 Sky not able to avoid the pitfall.
We gotta push B. Oh, a Rosa. Bye, Tello.
Yeah, replacing one white-haired sprite with another, and taking on the sisters here. Only 3,000 HP that the sisters have to split among the 3 of them, and double Ninja Sword Edge is going to be slicing and dicing.
Yeah, probably just not the hardest fight in this seed that Irene has finished. So this kind of a nice little stroll in the park here after all that foolishness that we just went through.
Only thing that would be better is if Edge had a mute knife working, but double ninjas will do just fine.
Yep, and on Elvin Sorrow screen, we are grinding against some behemoths.
Yeah, is this a trap chest that he's taken on?
I assume it's the tiles in Cave Value, but I actually don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he's there. He's in the lunar subterrane.
I don't know. Must be a trap chest then.
Yeah, so hoping for one of those vaunted tier 8 items, maybe an adamant armor.
Yeah. Or you could go find the pink tail. Guaranteed adamant armor on this front. So, but maybe 2 adamant armors?
Skarn getting his Avenger.
And we get through it just by the skin of our teeth. And 10 Artemis arrows, which honestly is pretty good.
10 more than he had.
10 more than anybody else has.
So, as a reminder, our runners have to do 6 of the 7 objectives listed in the middle there, and so all of our runners have access, except for Irene actually, have access to 5 objectives, and we're basically looking for Golbez or looking for both halves of the Forge objective, the Legend Sword and the Adamant Rock. Irene uses the Warp Glitch to get the Wizard Robe and gets a White Spear, so that's a nice weapon for Kane, but Dwarf Castle, kind of a miss, except for that Rosa.
Yeah, and Elvin Sorrow continuing his trek here down the lunar subterrane. Gonna save here. We'll see if he goes to the Crystal Sword Altar or decides to just kind of do the Ribbon and White Spear first.
Softum, this has been frenetic and really divergent. Like a lot of the runners doing lots of different things. We're seeing lots of different grind spots and kind of trap chests that we don't normally see. I mean, what do you think is going through the runners' heads here? This is a lot of really wild stuff.
Yeah. Let's see here. We're not quite an hour in, so we're not really afraid of anybody finishing, I think. But I would say that probably everybody is beginning to feel a little bit of mild panic setting, right? The seed was split wide open at the beginning. So for those of you who have joined us late or whatever, we have a Kane hero. The dolls at Baron Castle gave us the Baron Key, and as you can see on our screen, the Baron Basement and Liberate Baron Castle are both objectives. And both Elven Sorrow and Skarn have managed to finish both of those objectives that were opened up at the beginning. But the Seed just threw key items at us, the Darkness Crystal, the Earth Crystal, the Hook, really creating this divergence. And so I would think if you're a runner and you're used to kind of thinking negative thoughts, it's just all of the paths you didn't take. Oh no, this could have been quicker. Oh no, somebody could have gotten Fu a lot faster. Oh no, but yeah. And as we are kind of approaching the hour mark, I would feel remiss if I didn't point out again our wonderful trackers, Step Lively and Giran, and our wonderful restreamer and seed provider here, Daphus.
And soon to be music provider as well. As
yes.
Arene is taking that twin harp that he got from the Fey March and going to chase it. Elven Sorrow, meanwhile, taking on that White Spear altar, facing down Antlion in its natural habitat and getting the pink tail. So there is an adamant armor from the White Spear altar.
Yep, and also closes out one of our objectives, so quite the valuable excursion here for Elven Sorrow. But yeah, Arene's going to end up with that really great rally here. We go from Cape Magnus, do the Tower of Zot, and go back to Baron. It's going to be great.
Also set up a Sheila check that he hasn't cashed yet.
Yep.
And now that Arene has perished, our favorite bard has to play one of the many, many random songs to revive the party and really fulfill their spirits. So we hope you enjoy one of the many harp songs provided to us by Xenocat, mostly, and we are going to stop talking and let the music play. Well, it looks like Paledin flew a little close to the sun and got taken down, although it's always fun to see viruses in the Cave Magnus do 1 damage. That is a Dragoon Helm. It's not a required item, but this is a required objective, and so Arene marks that off. And Elven Sorrow taking on Dr. Luge here at the Ribbon Room. Got through the first fight just fine, and on to the real fight. Y2 Sky defeating the monster in the basement, which today was Octoman. And Elven Sorrow with that Dr. Luge fight, really a big opportunity, and that's a pan. That is 3 key item checks for Elven Sorrow. And also an X-Cal for that Cecil.
Here I am talking on mute. That was great. So, sorry about that. But yes, an Excal. Really, really great find here for Elven Sorrow. Plus that pan. Just, really, really valuable time kind of spent there working on it. And we do so love our harp music here. And we're going upside.
Yeah, Areen definitely going to go upside. Y2 Sky on his way to the Feymarch, going to discover his twin harp. You would have to think he likes his chances against both of these bosses. Y2 Sky, where are you going? Don't forget about the twin harp.
I think he does. I think he does defend that.
Okay.
People, I think.
Oh, a free tiara.
I hope so. But we'll see.
Don't worry, your poor co-runner.
It's fine. We'll be fine. We're totally gonna go talk to the king here, though.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna give ourselves a little bit of life. We don't need much. We're gonna go talk to the king. So
yes, and it's too bad Edge has to be here to witness this, but it's part of growing up, I suppose.
Oh, and we have the Avenger on Cecil.
Yep, that'll be a reset.
So we're gonna go take care of that one real quick. And while we're doing that, we might as well cabin ourselves up. So
yeah, so we're just past the hour mark. Elven Sorrow versus Y2 Sky on the top. Areen versus Skarn on the bottom. The runners on the right are on Team Brew Dude Attitude, who are down 1-0 in this series. If both the runners on the left win this race, then Brew Dude Attitude takes the week. Meanwhile, both the runners on the right of the vaunted firm, Golbez, and Golbez, they just need one win between the two of them to take this win for the week. Now, it's important to remember, if, for example, let's say Y2 Sky finished first and then both Elven Sorrow and Areen finished next, that's not 2-1 in favor of Brew Dude Attitude. It is 1v1 on the top and on the bottom.
Yep. In our twin casts, we like our runners to run the same seed so that it makes a coherent viewing experience for us. But we do have two distinct races here, the top and the bottom here, the yellow and the purple on your screens.
And did Y2 Sky decide to take on D-Mist first before King Queen Eblan? That's spicy.
We're showing D-Mist our arrows. It's great. I like that.
Look what I have.
Hey, I have found some samurai arrows. Do you want some? No, thank you.
Elven Sorrow, meanwhile, taking on Rubicant here at the Masamune altar. A really tough fight, but gets through with all 5 characters up. Really well done. Had to face down some really terrifying glares. It gets a package. So, that is a character check. I don't think Elven Sorrow wants that character check. It is still possible that Golbez could be back there, but yeah, I don't think that's going to be turned in anytime soon.
Yeah, no. I would imagine that our runners do things such that they find the Legend Sword before they find Golbez in the Luke Cave. or up on the giant, or lots of different places where we could be.
Y2 Sky did get the spoon from Demus, so has another check up on the overworld with Rydia's mom. That is 7 key items for Y2 Sky. Elven Sorrow has 9 at this point. And that's important. When you get to 10 key items, you get double experience from all your fights. Garn gets his twin harp.
Yep, and we'll see if Garn decides to take everything on as well. Your bag is full.
Sort it out.
I was going to say, use the sort feature.
Get it sorted, lads. Dark Imps.
Dark Imp's not too bad. We don't have any.
Well, they're not too bad if you can withstand these punches. So they are susceptible to status effects, including stone. That Palom in the center slot will take care of them. Actually, a really good target from those Dark Imps. Kane doesn't need to be awake to get levels when he's a hero.
Yep, with the Sea Hero flag on, you can you gain levels no matter what. And we do have the magma key. We can get underground now. And I think Elven Sorrow's been there.
Yeah, Elven Sorrow can get underground with that magma key, unironically.
Yes, but yeah, we'll probably take a pass at that hook rat there.
So, did Elven Sorrow do the CPU at Cave Bahamut?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I can't see I can't see somebody doing that like completely voluntarily, right? That's gonna be a fun fight. And
Y2 Sky in Tomra. Now here's the question: you got the Luca key from the King Queen Eblan. Did Y2 Sky pick up that twin harp? It's not lit up. I think he completely missed it.
I think he missed it in the excitement of defeating the entire Fame Arch.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully this doesn't cause too much of a rabbit hole here, but we'll have to see.
Yeah. Still time to rescue it, but you feel for it.
Yeah, just not really the play you want to see your teammate make on camera there, right? But it's all right. We'll be good. And yes, Elven Sorrow immediately turning in that magma key, deciding that the hook rat is not for him today.
Yeah, hook rats for chumps.
Yeah, just go and defeat the whole moon instead.
Yeah, except for Cave Bahamut and the Murasame altar. Y2 Sky is not forgetting Rydia's mom. See what she's got going on.
Yep. And we will see what Elven Sorrow does next. He's already got the pan too, so can one-shot the rest of his shield attack. And a Zeus Gauntlet out of mom there. It's good. I don't know if it's useful.
I mean, it's certainly useful, especially with this party. You got a bunch of bruisers, and that certainly helps. Is it worth going all the way up there? Probably not, but... And I think Y2 Sky remembers.
Oh, yep. Yep.
All right.
Only reason we could be coming up here is oops, I forgot to get the chest on my way out.
Yep.
Or he wants to buy some more sirens, and then we'll see the chest. One or the other. But...
And Elven Sorrow going immediately back up the tower. The tower key... Where was the tower key? It was early. I think it was from Antlion Cave.
It was Sirat Antlion, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think Elven Sorrow ever went to Antlion Cave, so this is a keyless tower play.
It's got it lit up, so we'll have to see.
Oh,
I do know that Elven Sorrow...
That is a light.
Yeah.
I see the light. Y2 Sky did pick up that harp and immediately, as if chastened, decides to go after it.
Yep, Y2 Sky immediately going to go music. Do your objectives. Do the things you know you can do.
Garn did get the Luca key from King Queen Eblan. And one play I wonder if anybody would make. You know, the final objective I think everybody is aware of is either going to be Forge or it's going to be finding Golbez. It's going to take a long time to find both key items with all the checks we've done so far. The sealed cave, not as long as you think. Does somebody go down there and peek for Golbez?
I mean, I think you're gonna... I think what you'll see our runners do here in the next 20 or 30 minutes is finish off all the checks that we've already seen, right? Because we still, on our various runners, have some objectives that we're not quite through yet. But after we've kind of completed that circuit, then... I don't know. You know, I don't know what your first thought's going to be. Probably package is a pretty easy check, right?
Though. Longer than Sealed Cave.
It's definitely longer than Sealed Cave, but you get through it pretty easily. Sealed Cave, the boss of Sealed Cave, I mean, if Golbez is there, it's not too bad, but it has some stats.
All right, watch yourself, Kid Icarus. You'd think if Pale Dim flew close to the sun, he wouldn't be as pale. You would think. But Y2 Sky does finish that harp check, does get the objective. And we'll be able to exit out of Cave Magnus. Skarn making this pan check. Go ahead, Sopnum.
Yeah, sorry about that. And the Elven Sorrow is gonna get the sad news about tower check here, but
yeah, just a Sork rope from the top. So that Wyvern, leaving that Wyvern behind, not going to phase Arian at all. The Sheila 1, meanwhile, just a Charm Rod. Where are these Legend Sword and Adamant armored? Or Adamant Rock? Where are they?
Well, we haven't seen what's behind CPU at Bahamut. Elven Sorrow found the magma key on the Crystal Sword altar.
That's right.
So we know what that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are our key items?
Yeah. CPU at Bahamut, D-Lunars at Murasame.
Yep,
That
and
might-
then we have Sylph and Sheila too.
Yeah. So we do have those two Sheila checks. And Skarn going to incur the wrath of the Troyan Parking Authority, parking the Falcon in that one tile.
Oh, no.
When you get the Enterprise back and you find the Falcon still there, not fun.
Maybe you just don't ever have to go back.
Maybe.
Elvin Sorrow getting his twin harp there.
Yeah.
While White Sky is going to start clearing out the moon, which is, I guess, the next step here. The pan was Ribbon Room, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Along with the X-Cal.
The F-Scal pan.
Yeah.
So Elvin Sorrow going to immediately go. Yes.
X-Cal pan sounds like a French curse word to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out like what do you fry in an X-Cal pan? Holy bacon? Holy bacon? I don't know.
Yes. All right, what do you say? Skarn is gonna do a third reprise of music.
Yep.
Is this the time where we talk? Is this the talking anniversary?
Nah, I think we're gonna let the music here speak for itself again.
And Skarn makes it through, so it's worth taking stock of what we have left. So we're still looking for Golbez. And by my count, we have 4 boss spots left to check. We have Seal Cave spot, we have the package spot, and we have the 2 boss spots on the Giant. I don't think he could be anywhere else.
Yeah, that sounds correct. I think we've seen one or another of our runners check everything else.
And then we need 2 more key items for that Forge objective, the Legend Sword and the Adamant Rock. And the places we don't know yet, the 2 pan checks, one from bonking Yang and one from turning the pan back into Sheila. The Rat Tail, which we haven't found yet, so it could be behind one of these other checks. The D-Lunars at the Murasame spot, and the CPU at the at Cave Bahamut.
Yeah, and at least one of those things will have the pass.
Yeah, there's really no place left to go.
Yeah, I mean the seed's gonna kind of narrow all of our runners with their diverse and quite interesting pathing, all kind of into the same row here. So Pink Tail.
Y2 Sky just completed his 5th objective. He is tantalizingly close.
Very close, and yet pretty far, as we know, since Golbez is not on the moon. And we're not really sure where the boss man is camping out today.
And so of our runners, the only one with access to all of the spots where Golbez could be is Elven Sorrow.
Right. And Y2 Sky has converted to face check mode and reset out of the Pan Excal living room. Which can't blame him for the choice here. All you need to do is find Golbez. Everything else is sort of otherwise needing it, or otherwise extraneous, but it would be nice to have that Pan, I feel like.
Elven Sorrow is giving us the 4th rendition of Kid Icarus. We're going to let it soundtrack our voices because there's just too much other stuff going on that we need to talk about. Arian taking on Dr. Luge and Balnab here. Skarn in Dwarf Castle, which will not lead to much. And I don't even... And Skarn did not even take the character here.
No, yeah. I don't... I don't believe that you would end up, because it's got to be like Forum, I think.
I think it was Rosa here, but yeah.
Rosa. Oh, it was Rosa here.
But yeah, it is still possible for Sheila, both Pan checks to have both halves of Forge, and we know Elven Sorrow has it. So we'll see where his travels take him. He's kind of... This next decision by Elven Sorrow going to be huge.
Yeah, we'll have to see where Elven Sorrow decides to go.
And Y2 Sky kind of doing a face check strategy we might call free or flee. Which is, if it's not the boss you're looking for, you reset out unless it's a free boss, and then you take it on. And did not want to tangle with the Ribbon Room spot, which was Dr. Luge, but is okay with the Dark Imps and receives the Magna Key. Gonna hang on to it because I believe that's 10 key items for him.
It's actually his own, but still might as well walk it out.
Yeah, you're right.
You get the nice experience out of the chest, which is still valuable at this point. And it's nothing in the LST is obnoxious, but it's just not in the grand scheme of things, unless you're walking all the way down only for Z. And we have Vanilla Rydia is our character here. We'll have to see if Golbez is hiding in him.
It would be an absolutely astounding legendary play if that were the case.
Yeah. And, we have Elven Sorrow and Y2 Sky here, almost really kind of neck and neck. Elven Sorrow with a pretty big advantage, having done a lot of these checks, and Y2 Sky decides to go back and go ahead and do the Ribbon Room.
Yeah.
So we'll get the Pan and the Excal for his
But if
trouble.
Y2 Sky hangs around and the D Lunars contain half of Forge, suddenly Y2 Sky has the advantage again, unless Golbez is right here.
Yep. Which, 25% at this point. Looking around, does it smell like Golbez? Do I see any shadow dragons?
Yeah, it seems like a normal oasis desert town. But who will be disturbing Rydia's slumber tonight? Arian taking on Rubicant.
Oh. Just Kanazo.
I think Elven Sorrow's naming scheme has backfired. He wanted no lawyers, but if Golbez is a lawyer, he's never going to show up for you.
Yeah. And then looks like we're gonna go ahead and do Luca Cave or Sid Cave next.
I do like this play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go to the Giant.
No.
Do you want to go to the Giant? I never want to go to the Giant.
Although the music up there is so good. It's so good.
I know, and it's neat because we don't see it a lot, and I get it, but let's be honest, nobody wants to go.
Y2 Sky did get that pan, did get that X-Cal. Does he want to chase?
Yeah, I feel like the face check strategy here is probably the correct one. I'm not really convinced because I want it to be easier than going to the Giant, but it's... You only have 4 spots. You only got to fight one of them. Well, possibly 2, I suppose. If he's literally in the last location. Yeah.
And Y2 Sky looks like he's gonna chase. Yeah, set up the save on the moon. I'm just gonna go to the Giant.
Oh, I mean, maybe. I
knows he has, knows he has a good shot up here. Elven Sorrow hasn't been to Dwarf Castle, so hasn't even gotten this key item. Does get the Wizard Robe. And we have to see who this is.
I know.
Who is hiding in the cave?
So tense. Oh no!
It is Golbez! Elven Sorrow in the driver's seat.
Yeah. Ha ha ha. Golbez has all the jokes for us today.
I mean, he is the comedian. Where do comedians hang out? In the dingiest, darkest comedy club you can imagine.
Yeah, but like, they lock the doors. They don't let people in. Usually you want to tell your jokes to somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe Shadow's a really good audience. Maybe Shadow.
Yeah. You ever hear how like comedians say, "Oh, I got better because I just kept telling my jokes just to other comedians because we were the only ones who were at our shows"? Yeah, Shadow must give really good feedback.
Yeah, I guess.
And so has Kane and has Edge still standing. Being quick.
Oof. Oh.
Oh, he reset. It was a heal. Goodness.
That was excellent. That was what you wanted to happen. Oh,
he'll have to go through it again.
We'll go piggy strats. I suppose
make it a little easier. Give him a turn to get that wall up. So this time should be safely through. But it's that kind of mistake that really plants those seeds of doubt. Hopefully, Elven Sorrow keeps a level head here. Y2 Sky on the Giant finding DKC at Elements, which hurts a little, but able to get through it. Is going to be disappointed at CPU, and the question will be, once Y2 Sky sees who's at CPU, does he take that fight for the experience, or does he immediately reset out?
I think your opponent's not done yet. I think you have to reset. I don't see a different option here. What I'm trying to do is by process of elimination, who is here. I don't remember who you haven't seen. Baigen, I think, is probably who's here.
Baigen is a possibility. We haven't seen Mylon Z yet.
Oh,
yeah, we have another boss still outstanding, and that is Baigen, and that's instant reset.
So we will. We're gonna walk out.
Gonna walk back out. Wanted that experience from the Dark Knight Cecil fight. So now Fu and Cecil, now the Lunarians, are taking on Golbez on Elven Sorrow's side. Kane betraying us for the last time. But Cecil has that
Cecil
wall up, and
has the
Cecil has an
Starveil.
Avenger. Yep.
So, doing pretty good here. Put the Avenger on. No more inputs required for this fight. And just like that, it's Y, and Elven Sorrow is ready to go visit our old dear friend.
Yeah, we'll have to make that long walk down the lunar subterrane, but does get his crystal.
Yeah, and crystal.
And Arene taking on D-Lunars with an impressive showing of Lunar Frog strats, has this in hand now. Skarn, meanwhile, is grinding, and Y2 Sky also completing his boss hunt will take him to the sealed cave. So Y2 Sky will not be terribly far behind. A few minutes, Elven Sorrow still in the lead.
Yeah, and Elven Sorrow, a few minutes here, but that makes all the difference in this kind of situation. And we are, especially on Elven Sorrow's side, we are at very safe levels for Z. We're not risking anything here. I don't think.
No,
glance, but
Zeromus, never a free fight.
Right,
you can never be completely serene in your ability, even if you've done it a million times, as these runners have, for very good and clever runners here. Arene finding Bahamut at D-Lunars did walk out with the experience, I believe, but not what he was looking for, and now going to go to Cape Bahamut, which has been transformed into the server room. Y2 Sky does save that extra travel time going into the crystal room. Finds his Golbez. And is going to reset in order to set up his own piggy strats. Yeah.
This is going to instantly reset and set up for the fight, which makes a lot of sense.
And Elven Sorrow is going with a pink tail in his pocket. Not going to have an adamant armor to face Zeromus. We'll see if it matters. Adamant armor certainly would have helped at various times through this scene.
Yeah, but I don't even remember if Elven Sorrow launched the hovercraft.
He might not have.
Because he didn't have to at any point. So,
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, I don't think I saw him even do dancing. I don't know his normal habits, but so he may be a long way from that happy number in terms of time.
Now, Arene, I believe, did not take on the CPU at Cape Bahamut. Instead, going to take on the basement throne here.
Yep, do one of our last objectives.
Now, Arene has not taken on either of the bosses in the Fey March, so does not have the Luca Key. But has the Pan. We'll see if both halves of Forge are behind Pan, as chat has been calling for. And what a race this has turned out to be.
I know, it's gotten it very, very close here for us.
And as a reminder, Brew Dude Attitude on your left needs both Elven Sorrow and Arene to win in order to take this week. And Soft Numb has given Golbez, and Golbez a 1-0 lead. So either Y2 Sky has to win or Skarn has to win. Right now, Arene versus Skarn, it's too close to call for me. Elven Sorrow does have a couple minute advantage here on Y2 Sky, but that can all change in an instant.
Yeah. Skarn cracking some eggs and Areen kind of going back and filling in that last objective we have access to. So.
Yeah, it could come down to that bottom race, but it is not Elven Sorrows alone right now. This the Z fight is full of danger.
Yeah.
There are some characters who could not survive a high big bag roll all by themselves. If a nerf goes badly, or if a nuke target goes on the wrong person, it can all go a little bit pear-shaped right away. But Elven Sorrow is on his way down.
Yep. Doing that long walk, didn't find the pass wherever that may be. Areen looking for Golbez now. Going to find Karate. Probably won't go Karate.
So, Zeromus always ends up here. Can't move him. Too big. Too much. But we do like to give him a makeover because this is a randomizer. And so, appreciate everybody getting those Z flags out in chat. We gotta know who Zeromus is today. And Sofnum, please ask the question.
The question we like to ask here is, whose bum are we going to kick tonight? And you'll find out momentarily.
Whose bum will we overcome?
Oh my gosh.
Whose patootie will be given the booty?
Yeah. And does it have a hat? And
Is it cute?
Is it cute? And all of the other sort of questions that we enjoy here. Whose posterior will be shown inferior?
Yes.
That one's pretty good there.
It is. Very clever.
Yes.
Areen found the legend sword and it's going to turn into the second half
here we
of
are.
It could
Here
be.
we are. We could be it. That we got halfway there.
I think the second the Gila 2 check either has to be the rat tail or the pan or the adamant rock at this point. I think it has to
It could be the path.
It could be the pass. CPU could chain.
And then
Rat
CPU
tail
would be rat
yeah.
tail to.
Uh-oh.
to adamant.
Grumus is after us.
Uh-oh. It is pitch black. You're likely to be eaten by a Gru.
And his heart grew 2 sizes that day.
I think that's the wrong villain.
Oh.
Okay, and
It's the
yeah,
Adamant Rock!
we did it, everybody.
Areen's in go mode! And now, Areen has the inside track!
Yeah,
Blue Dude Attitude, leading both races!
yeah. This is extremely exciting here. While Evan Sorrow is well into his Z fight, having gotten set up, Callum is taking a little bit of a nap here. Not really that big a deal. I don't even think at 13:32 that means we have nukes. So
Yeah, Elven Sorrow putting up big numbers against this wall of text.
Yeah.
Y2 Sky still making his way back down.
yeah, we'll be there soon, but doesn't really look like it's gonna be soon enough here. So
Yeah, Y2 Sky needs something to go wrong here. But Elven Sorrow playing it calm and collected so far. Areen gets out Able Lance.
Yep.
And for Areen, Kane is able.
Yes. And that is Areen's 6th objective, and he is also given the crystal. So
He gets a
3
crystal
of our-
ring as well.
Yep. And so 3 out of the 4 of our runners here with the equipment to go and fight who we know is a Garumus. So
Yeah, Skarn is taking down this Golbez, but still needs to take on that White Spear altar. So we'll be able to do it on the way down and be nice and efficient, but does take a wipe to Golbez there. Needs to do some piggy strats.
We didn't save in the cave either, so we gotta go all the way back through Sealed Cave, unfortunately.
Y2 Sky now into the fight, but Elven Sorrow into the second phase here.
Yep. It looks like we've taken our second Big Bang, stood up for it.
Gets an elixir off on that Cecil, who took the counter nuke. So Cecil is back up to snuff.
And Y2 Sky beginning his Gurumus battle here, 138-ish.
Yeah. About 3 minutes behind, we're told by our restreamer. Will be boxing up, and I'm not sure that Y2 Sky has the firepower to overcome a 3-minute advantage alone, but Elven Sorrows starting to be low on magic with that Fu, has to virus instead of nuke. That is an unnerfed Big Bang. Everybody who's up stays up.
Yep, unnerfed Big Bang. Fortunately, didn't really take anybody with us. And I would expect...
If it goes into rocks here, it is going into rocks. Needs a dodge. Needs a dodge here. Gets a dodge from Fu. It's Fu by itself.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we make it here.
This is scary, scary times for Elven Sorrow here.
Yeah, Elven Sorrow trying to decide what...
A Wombo combo. A Fu without MP. Needs to elixir himself. Another dodge.
Another dodge.
Uses a Cure 2, doesn't have another elixir, I guess.
Yep. Just
needs it.
Getting to heal up here, and then is probably gonna start unleashing.
What's his way out, though? What's his way out? Another Fu can dodge.
I mean, we can always live somebody else.
Yes, needs to at some point.
Like bring up Cecil or something.
Yeah. But Y2 Sky clawing his way back into this.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Bring up that Cecil, see what's going on here. While
needs Cecil to dodge this video.
Yep.
Does it.
Okay.
Gets a key dodge.
Yep. And
Cecil with the Avenger just needs a couple more hits. Y2 Sky slicing away, and Y2 Sky Cecil doing 2,000 more. No, somebody's not going to dodge this video. And Cecil going back down.
Oh man, this is turning. It seems to be turning back into a race here all of a sudden.
Y2 Sky in a much better position right now,
and is already on the rocks phase. So
Cecil goes down again for Elven Sorrow.
Yeah.
Y2 Sky with all 5 people up in rocks phase.
This is intense.
He's done it. Y2 Sky has come from behind and taken this week for Golbez, and Golbez.
That is insane, and that noise tells me that we are joined by my teammate Y2 Sky. GG's.
Ooh, yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just sort of broach the opening topic here. You entered the Z fight 3 minutes after Elven Sorrow.
Yeah, and I figured something like that might have been the case, because I saw Elven Sorrow typing after I got the Golbez, and I was headed back up to the moon. And I'm like, oh my goodness, he's found the right route. Checked the Golbez before going up, or did something that I to get ahead of me, especially where I went with that giant. And then the dot dun's not coming in, and I've hit rocks. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? So he's either messing with me, because we did talk in stream earlier today. He watched my warm up stream, and I was like, I get a little antsy at 135 on the mixer seats, and I was like, is he really remembering what I said on stream and just typing to mess with me? Because Elvin Sorrow would do that.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. It does turn out that, as you suspected, the kind of difference would have been... It basically came down to Elvin Sorrow decided to do the checks basically in order of difficulty, so went from package to Luke Pete, and you decided to. But very good GGs. I think the other question that we had specifically for you, White Sky, is tell me about the Fey March chest check.
Yeah, that's a race problem that I have, and I will I'll be thinking ahead about 2 steps, and then just completely forget a super obvious thing that you're supposed to do. And today's was checking the Fey March chest. So, because I'm mainly thinking, okay, if the Golbez is down here, if the Golbez is not down here, what do I do? I'm thinking after the boss checks, right? So the boss checks are at the forefront of my mind. And I just missed the chest. I kill the D-Mist, go back up, look at my tracker to kind of plan my next move after turning the D-Mist in, and I'm like, why is the word chest in my locations? Like, I forgot the Fey March chest. So I beelined right back down.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw on stream basically the moment that you had been the moment that you had realized, but just sort of wondered if that was like somehow intentional, or if you had a different route or something that you were planning on for that. Anyway,
your teammate is giving you some ribbing, but you did so much positive stuff in that seed. You laid waste to the moon. Tell us about your thoughts once you got to the moon up there.
Well, I mean, I was pretty happy with my party at that point. Hairdryer, slingshot, after I kind of got set up, gave me a lot of help. But yeah, so the moon was kind of an interesting beast. At that point, I'm basically looking for Golbez. I'm kind of in quasi face check mode. I know I can find Forge. I know I still need Pass. So it's okay. It's either Golbez, or free, or fast. If it's not one of those 3, we're not doing it. And D-Lunars was heck no. White Spear's obviously an objective. Ribbon Room, okay, Dr. Lugia, we'll get back to that. Rubicante at Masa, no. Dimps, free, great. Oh, yay, we can get underground now. So it was kind of alright, let's go in order of difficulty here. What makes sense to do, what does not make sense to do. Then when Lugia gave me the Pan and Excal, I'm like, okay, that's something else to chase for a pass. If worse comes to worse and it's not back, and my go mode is not back on Earth, I can turn in the Pink Tail, come back, and Rubicante's okay, because I did not have a setup for that fight.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I mean, what we were observing kind of about an hour 10 in was that the seed opened way up at the beginning. So I guess when you're kind of deciding among the various checks that were open to you after 10 minutes or 20 minutes, like what went through your mind then?
Well, I mean, a lot of the things that you can do have to do with party comp. I tend to not try to just go diving the moon and checking for free stuff, especially on a T Wildish flag set. You could, if you end up with the party that I ended up with, and you've got a Cecil, you've got an Edge. Usually, you can go play an Eblan Castle. You're going to get enough gear to basically just kind of do a normal completion route through the seed. Turns out it would have actually paid off this time because Magma Key was behind free Dark Imps. But I tend to not favor making that kind of jet. It's just I've tried it a couple times and both times just ended up super awkward. So I think with a different party comp it might have been different. If I find casters and not fighters, I probably immediately try to do the rest of the shopping for D Machine, do a D Machine, get Nuke on a caster party, and then I might go blow up the moon. But melee, I think we're just going to play the game one way.
Last question for me, Y2 Sky. With the win, Golbez, and Golbez improves to 3 and 4 on the tournament. How have you felt about your team's play and your play during the tournament overall?
I'm having one of the best seasons ever. Just the team environment, the team aspect has been an absolute blast. The flag sets have been a blast. As always, the community's been fantastic. But this has been one of the best seasons that I can recall since playing the game. I love working with my team. My team has been practicing hard, getting better and better every week. I can just, even in just the conversations in Discord, I can see a marked improvement in both kind of the game theory and the execution. So yeah, GG's to all my teammates.
And GG's to you, Y2 Sky, winner of tonight's race, helping Golbez, and Golbez improve to 3 and 4. And best of luck the rest of the way.
Yep. Best of luck to my teammates on week 8 and on the title round. But this probably wraps it up for me because I am off on week 8, and then and then there's a lot of gaming stuff on my plate. So this will probably do it for Eblan Elixir League. So thanks everybody. Thanks people on Fritzlofton for commentating. Thanks Steph Lively and Garen for pushing the buttons. Thanks Dathis, great seed as always. Enjoyed some of the vanilla, enjoyed some of the jet. So Dathis always delivers. And just thanks to everybody for watching.
Yep, give all of these runners, and especially Y2 Sky, a follow to see what they're up to after Eblan Elixir League. But GG's once again, and GG's to Arene, who wins his race against Skarn with a time of 1:50:40, with a very nicely done Zeromus fight as well. And Elven Sorrow did forfeit after kind of being caught in that spin cycle. But what a race by Elven Sorrow, who joins us now. Real big GG's on really a heck of a race that just didn't go your way at the end. And we can see you talking, but nothing's coming through. So maybe, there you go.
I just realized my microphone's off. Okay, I planned that. I knew it was off. Yeah, that if that elixir wasn't eaten by Kane and Fu had the MP, I think I might have got there.
Yeah, Kane really betrayed you at the end.
Yeah, well, that's what he always does.
He sure does. Well, you were the first person on stream to get into the Z fight, mainly due to your dedicated hunting of Golbez. You were the first to find him in the sealed cave. How did you kind of approach your Golbez hunt, and when did you decide it was more worth it to do that than to look for the 2 pieces of forge?
No. Honestly, I forgot that I did not do Dwarf Castle. I'm like, well, I'm on a boss hunt, because at that time, I was like, all the bosses are open, right? And then I was like, oh no, I didn't do Dwarf Castle. But then at that point, I'm like, well, if he's there, I just got to go Luca. You got to own the fades, whether you're conscious of them or not. You got to own them.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So, I think this is just going to be my question of the night, but the seed opened up pretty early, right? Lots of access really, really early. So I guess what kind of went through your mind, or what planning did you think about as you chose, your pretty unique path through the seed, which everybody took a unique path through the seed. So,
I mean, I don't know. I guess lately, even though it's tournament season, I've been just trying to play with different strategies. And then last night I did a practice seed where I didn't even have to go underground at all. So I guess I was trying to do that as well. I don't know. It's probably not the great strategy.
I mean, it worked out this time for sure, because you were leaps ahead, and actually we did find out from one of our other runners that the pan that you found in the ribbon room actually led to both halves of forage. So
Really? Oh my goodness.
Yep. Sylph had legend, and then Sheila 2 was pediment.
And then one thing, I wish I turned in that pigtail, because that might have made my Z fight a little better.
Yeah, an adamant armor, never a bad thing to have. But the play,
even the extra damage would get Cecil through it. I think he just had a black belt on, so with an adamant armor, I probably wouldn't have got stuck in that loop.
Yeah, probably not.
well, the one play I really enjoyed was you didn't need a puny hook to get to the underground. You just decided to blast your way to the moon and get the magma key from there.
Yeah, I mean, I learned that from one of my teammates, Johnny B. Rush the moon. Didn't work out for me. He's a way better player than I am, but he rushes the moon a lot, and he usually kills it.
Well, we saw a lot of skill on display from you tonight, so really, it didn't end the way you wanted, but we really want you to take heart that you ran a heck of a race. And so, Sofnum, any final questions for Elvin Sorrow?
No, just GG's. Heck of a run, heck of a show you put on. Really, really appreciate it. Everybody follow this guy too. He's hilarious.
Very much so. GG's, Elvin Sorrow, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, guys. All I gotta say is I'm tired of Japhas rolling these seeds.
Me too, and I won my last one.
Atlas!
I heard you.
All right, Elvin
Yeah.
Sorrow, GG's.
Thanks, everyone.
GG's.
Sheep, Sofnum, Step, Gurin, Japhas. Thank you all.
Yeah.
And so Skarn gonna take his second crack at the Z fight now, and we are joined by winner tonight, Irene. GG's.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead, Sofnum.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask my normal question, so we'll kind of start out at the beginning. But the seed really kind of was very open very early on. Lots of different paths, and we actually saw everybody took a pretty different path through the seed, even though the seed did funnel you into one of a few different checks. So what went through your mind when you were when the seed was opening up through the first few minutes?
It scattered is the word I would call the seed. At first I thought, oh, this is great. I am through underground. Let's go to tower. If this is anything but Wyvern, and that's when things kind of started to get a little off the rails. Wyvern at the top of tower kind of locked me out. I didn't think I had the damage to be able to get through it. And then it was just kind of a mad scramble for what am I strong enough to beat now? Sure, let's try Zot. Let's do Dwarf Castle. King Queen Fey March, maybe later. Baron Basement, that's a long walk. I'll do it when I know that I can come back and beat it. So I felt like I was just kind of running around looking for a few certain things that I never did end up finding until the end. It was just a huge relief seeing that Pan 1 and Sheila 2 turned out to be the full Adamant Legend combo. Because otherwise I was looking at possibly going to the Giant of Babel for a Golbez hunt.
Yeah, I don't know how it felt for you, but for me, when I felt that you really had what it took to win this race was when you were going through that mom bomb. Just the amount of gumption that it took to get through a tough boss at those levels on the hook route was really something to see.
I think I underestimated how much damage I had to do to get into the explode phase, and then the speed at which he would actually explode. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'll just get out as much damage as I can. I'll have, a turn to revive a couple key people, and maybe if I'm lucky, throw a blink up, maybe throw a cure to survive the explode. But it came right away, and I was unprepared for it. And truth be told, I did not know if that hourglass was actually going to stop them in their tracks. So I got away with one there. Especially two of them missing and one of them doing, 30 less damage than Edge had health. That was all very, very fortunate.
I mean, I think you were showing off a little bit by having Edge survive with 27 HP when you only need one.
I know, just a little too much. But yeah, I got away with one because in my mind, I told myself, okay, I'm going to give this another try. If this doesn't work out, I am going to go hit ordeals and do a little bit more grinding, get a little more power. So I'm really glad it worked out when it did. Unfortunately, it led into a Wyvern at the top of the tower that I just felt terrible at. I hate doing either a keyless tower or a topless tower because in my mind, the whole time I'm thinking, oh, I don't have Adamant or Legend. One of them's up there, surely. Or something important is up there. I'm really glad that wasn't the case, though. So, again, got a little lucky on a couple aspects here.
And that Z fight went very, very smoothly. And how did you kind of approach the Z fight? Were you nervous about it at all?
Not really nervous. I knew I had Abel on Kane, so kind of told myself, okay, I've got a Berserk Kane. I've got to kind of go with hybrid strats. I'm probably going to go through a refill. Let's just go through this as fast as possible. For whatever reason, I could not find my silk webs when I was looking through my inventory. I thought maybe I just accidentally bought one instead of a stack of 5. Not realizing I cursored over them 5 or 6 times, going up and down my inventory the whole time. But it was, there wasn't really a strategy there. It was, even if I don't nerf a Big Bang, I'm probably going to live. Let's just put out some damage. Let's throw all the ninja swords we have. Kane, or Edge, you're on potion duty now. You're just kind of hanging back. Everyone else just throw spells and see if we can make it happen.
And so the last question I have for you, you were a late addition to Brew Dude Attitude, and I believe this is your first win in the tournament. How are you feeling about pinch hitting, jumping into the fray, and how are you feeling about your team?
My team has been absolutely great. I've done a couple streams, and they've been watching, giving me pointers. Even earlier today, Elvin was watching me, and I was doing a very, very low-level Z fight, and he was giving me strategies in the chat that kind of changed my outlook, and I don't think I would have been able to get it through without them, but they've all been super supportive. So I can't say enough good things about them. They've been great. it feels really good to get my first win, especially up here on the main stage. I played a really tough runner last week. Fortunately, my teammates were able to pull out the win without me, but it feels good. Feels good to be part of the team. I've been watching from the sidelines since week 1, but it's really nice to be able to compete in it. It's a lot of fun.
Well, we're glad to have you in it, Arian. Our winner tonight in the bottom race. Everybody give Arian a follow as well, so you could give him pointers on low-level Z strat, which is always a lot of fun.
I need them.
So once again, GG's and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you so much. Thank you to the whole Restream team. Thank you, Dathis, for rolling the seed. It was a very interesting one. Thank you to you, Sheep Launcher and Softnum, for commentating. Thank you to Step Lively and Garen for tracking. Couldn't have done it without all of you. Thanks to my team, and thanks to my brother Bangagong for being my training partner, even when I was not called up.
And GG's once again.
Thank you. Take care.
And that sound tells me that we are joined in the booth by Skarn. GG, Skarn.
Thank you very much. Although that Z was not a pleasant fight.
No, Fast Anchor Kane betraying you for the final time. When Z gets going, he starts rolling downhill, huh?
Oh yes, I very much learned today that reflex strats don't work with a Kane anchor, and you need to just go full Zerk. That's a lesson.
Well, there were a lot of positives in your race. Before that, I wanted to kind of focus on. You found Golbez before you left the blue planet, and your routing really led you nicely to the moon. Tell us about your routing a little bit.
So I was basically focusing on the objectives, and I figured, okay, well, either Golbez is on the moon or Forge is on the moon. I have to go up there for White Spear anyways. So if I can get my 10 key items on Blue Planet before I leave, I can just knock out the grind and then be ready for Z. And then by the time I finished my grind, when I realized I wasn't finding key item number 10, I looked at the timer, I looked at the fact no one had finished, and I said, okay, well, if Golbez was on the moon, someone would have found him by now, and someone would have been done. So I went for Luca and just got lucky.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a pretty heads-up decision to make. Certainly not something that I'm accustomed to thinking about in the race, but you know, it was an excellent call on your part. And I would say too that, I mean, I think early on in the seed, everybody was kind of taking a different route through it, but I mean, everybody was kind of keeping pace, and nobody was really ahead of anybody. So, tell us about kind of the early game and what went through your mind.
So the early game, admittedly, I forgot how high a level Edge is to start. So the only thought going through my head was, if I can just get one more flame cast, I can just flame through that entire gauntlet and not think about it. Without really processing the fact that, I was going to flame through the first 4 anyways, and then the worm was on the last one way or the other. So it would have made more sense to just take that right then. But at that moment, all I was thinking was, okay, I know where Gauntlet is. I have access to 2 objectives. I need to just get to the point where I can clear out Baron, so I don't have to think about it anymore. And part of that was trying to get to 75 MP on Edge, so I could just flame cast all the way through that gauntlet.
What does go through your mind when the starting key item is a Baron key that is hard required for this seed, 2 objectives, and it's basically the dolls telling you, hey, you want to fight us? Come on right back.
Immediately I was thinking, how fast can I get up ordeals? Or where can I find a Quake Kid or a Foo? the seed seemed set up for wanting AoE damage, and it didn't even occur to me just how fast Kane is, and how that would play in later in the seed.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was a really great run overall. Everybody was really kind of tight there up until the end, and it was extremely exciting to watch. So everybody, give Skarn a follow. Do you have any final questions, Sheep?
Yeah, I just wanted to say to echo Softnumb's comments. These two teams very evenly matched. These two races came right down to the wire, and then Softnum only beat VT Afro by 7 seconds. So, Skarn, how do you feel about your team's performance so far, and how's the team kind of coming together and encouraging each other?
So we have regular team asyncs that we do for practice, so that we can compare notes and see where each of us can improve, where each of us has a really good strength, routing decisions that one of us has made, and try and discuss that, figure out where we can get better. And as of right now, actually, Golbez, and Golbez has a perfect win-loss record, and the Dempsey and Legal Academy has taken all the losses for us. So we're right now at 100-0.
Oh, okay. So instead of a fee shifting agreement, you have a loss shifting agreement. I as a lawyer, I understand that. Well, that's the perfect attitude, and it sounds like everybody on Golbez really encourages each other and lifts up the team, and that's great to see.
Oh yeah, that commercial that Softnum put together is probably one of my favorite assets that we've come up with for this entire tournament. I absolutely love it.
Yeah,
I have to say, naming Kane judge is the icing on the cake.
Yeah, pretty good. So, GG Skarn.
Thank you very much.
And best of luck the rest of the way.
Absolutely, and again, GG to Aaron. Fantastic. I'm gonna look forward to looking back and seeing how that was routed differently on his side, and see what I can learn from his side of the race.
Awesome. Yep.
Yeah, a lot. You'll find a lot from everybody. I think this is going to be a race that will really benefit from repeated viewings. So if you're watching on YouTube, hi YouTube, then watch it again. You might catch something you missed.
Absolutely. And so this will conclude the free enterprise broadcast for tonight, but I did want to mention that we have 3 or 4 actually very exciting races tomorrow that'll be broadcast starting at 2 p.m. All these times will be in Eastern, where we have Cubs Rule 21 on New Moon versus Commander Lionheart from the Ballum Cricket Club. And then we have our twin cast tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Scarcer versus Nitzy, along with Stupid Sexy Flanders versus Vitasia. That's at 4 o'clock tomorrow. And then our nightcap tomorrow, beginning at 10 p.m., just like this one, is Zeke versus Peasants OMFG.
Yeah, so the race at 2 p.m. Eastern is on Free Enterprise 2, the same channel you're watching right now. The 2 later races are on Free Enterprise Prime. You can find all of that information in the Discord. But yeah, another great day of racing in the Eblan Elixir League, and we can't wait to see you. Do want to thank our restreamer, Dathis, our very intrepid trackers tonight, Step Lively and Garen, and thank you, Softnum, for providing the knowledge. This was a whole lot of fun.
Absolutely, and thank you, Sheep, for being co-coms as well. And thank you to the restreamer and the trackers as well. And good night, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, and until next time, so long.